Are you?
I'm still assimilating back to normal life.
I, I mean, this is my first day back. I took a rare personal day yesterday, so I understand completely. Just kind of a long weekend. Kind of wanted a day to decompress, so I understand.
I know, like yesterday, I worked a little bit and then I like meal prepped for the week, that family stuff. And then I
hmm
was like, what? I'm gonna go sit in my lounge and scroll Instagram for a little bit. Like,
I, I don't blame you. Hope you had a good Easter weekend.
I did coming off the Apex.
Mm,
That was an
I
experience for sure.
loved it.
But
You
honestly, it's the most relaxed I've ever been on a trip.
good?
So I actually literally feel good coming back this week because normally, like, on Allure, I worked a bit more
Right.
than I probably should have, or, I'm doing a ton of vlogging, or I was a little smarter about my vlogging this
So
week.
I'll be honest. I thought your Instagram stories were just magnificent. I mean,
Yeah.
you did you did you did a phenomenal job showing off the meals in like Lemonade. I mean, I just thought you did a fantastic job. Celebrity shared one of your awesome reels, the martini bar. That
Yeah.
was wonderful. So, I mean, I thought you did a phenomenal job. I mean, it felt like, by the way, it felt like you were on that cruise for a month. Like you were gone for
Whenever you're traveling, that's how it feels. Like Jason and I complain about this all the time. We're like, oh my God, you've been gone for forever.
I bet you felt. I mean, how did you feel when I was on the transatlantic? Like, I like just moved. I was just gone.
What's funny though is like your Atlantic ones for some reason don't feel as long as like your week long ones, maybe because they're not as port
And I'm not posting like
intensive.
it's like those 7 sea days. Every day is more or less the same.
I mean, and that's kind of what it was interesting. I'm just like, oh my gosh, am I that boring? Because I only got off at one port.
I don't.
I got off in Key West because I got my dad some key lime stuff and we had some seafood, which I know you thoroughly enjoy. Um, but I mean, we stayed on the ship, we relaxed. They had 4 yoga classes. Like I just
Love it.
lived a
Love
great life.
Well, let us get going here. Well, guys, if you don't know, I am Jason Poole. I'm a travel advisor with Cruise Planners, and this is our weekly show where we get to talk about what we talk about behind the scenes, all things credit card hacks, hotels, flights, cruises, resorts, everything to do with travel. So we just love sharing our passion and our tips and our hacks and our experiences with all of you. Hey, Haley, if someone doesn't know who you are, who are you and why should anybody believe a word you say?
They shouldn't. No, I'm just my name is Haley. I am the owner and president of Hospitality with a Flair, which is a hotel sales support company. Been in the hotel world for 16, almost 17 years. That feels really weird to say. And then I also write HaleyWithAFlair.com, which is a travel blog that does cruising, Europe, Disney, everything in between.
Love it. Love it. Well, let's get started today. Expedia had a really good, I don't want to say like article, but they were talking about how that their most recent summer forecast is showing the flight demand or flight searches for long haul flights are just continuing to increase. So Americans are looking at New Zealand, Japan, Vietnam, still looking at places in Europe. So I just thought that was interesting that um, I'm seeing on my side as well. People are kind of doing that. Oh crap, we have summer break coming, and we want to
Yeah.
go somewhere.
I mean,
So
I always take some of the Expedia stuff with a grain of salt because obviously that's advertising. There is a marketing
one,
pitch and ploy to this. So always keep that in mind. I have no doubt that it's up. Is it up 25% maybe versus 15 or 20? Like, is that floated a little bit? Yes, because I mean, they want to, increase that excitement, be like, oh my gosh, like those people, like, I have summer break coming up. I mean, I had that feeling myself until very recently, trying to get things planned out. So, always keep that in mind. But, I think people are realizing, and what we're seeing, especially in your bigger, normally popular hotel markets in the US, is, hotel ADRs are through the roof. Like, one of my little choice properties in Nashville that my company works on, that's not downtown but close-ish,
Right.
just exceeded March 2019.
Right.
And I think the idea kind of comes behind that. Um, if I'm going to pay this much and go to Nashville, sorry to throw that in there, like, could I spend that money and go somewhere else that and I feel like that's kind of the question is like, I don't want to pay X amount for a Caribbean cruise. Like, could I do something else?
No, so I think that is a great take. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, late last week and this week, I've been doing a new group trip of the day, and I announced that my Sydney, Australia one late last week, and I had some people message me who were just like, "Oh my gosh, those rates are like that's better than the Caribbean." Now, don't get me wrong, the flights to Sydney, it's not nothing. Okay, like it is not nothing.
No, but it's a school of thought. If I'm going to spend the money,
Right.
I'm
I
gonna
agree.
I'm gonna do it that
I
way.
I I I agree. I mean, I said. I mean, I know. I agree. I mean, it's just you know, personally, I'm you and I are cut from the same mold. It is we definitely want to use our money wiser to go see things we haven't seen before, to do things we haven't done before. So and it's not that I mean, look, I'm on Virgin in what 2 weeks. I'm excited just to kind of get away, relax.
That's what the Apex was for me. Like, did
Right.
I really want to do? Because it's between that and a river cruise. But I'm like, being CEO entrepreneur, I'm like, if I'm on a river cruise, I'm not going to relax. So I'm going to see all these new things, and I'm just going to be on the go. I'm like, I need a mental checkout trip, and I think that's what I've realized more and more is like, yes, I want to see the things, but I need like one mental checkout trip a year.
I do not blame you. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna move to Haley's favorite airline.
I
Um,
know. I cannot wait to status match. I know
no, yes. I mean,
you probably already did beat me to it.
so this is actually pretty cool. So here's the article, and then something I did not know about until today. So Spirit is now gonna match your status with other airlines. And what I think is interesting is that they're using a website or a service called statusmatch.com. Guys, I never even heard of this until today. Okay.
I was curious to see what you thought when I threw this in here.
I had never even heard of statusmatch.com. So it's cool. So they have Air Canada, Choice, Emirates, Frontier, JetBlue, Radisson Hotels, a few other stuff on there as well. So I thought that was really interesting. So if you fly JetBlue or Frontier and now Spirit, go to statusmatch.com and put in your, whatever loyalty you have at your top status, and they'll do this. And I think this is starting to be a growing trend because, so for my upcoming Virgin cruise, Virgin still has not figured out their loyalty program. I mean, I know it's shocking that Virgin is still figuring something out. It's like tangent. Love the product. It's kind of messy before you get on board.
I
But
mean, some of it is just that difference in market.
right. But what Virgin
Vastly different than we do.
right. So I had to upload my highest status of a cruise line, and they gave me like a free upgraded Wi-Fi, free coffee credit every day, just some small stuff, just kind of what you would expect. And I think lots of places are realizing that some people are, really attracted to status. And so places like Virgin or Spirit are like, hey, we'll give that to you to show you we think we're just as good. And I think that's a neat approach. And
Well, and I think you kind of said it. There's two kind of camps, I feel like, when it comes to loyalty. those are the ones that like the status and name, especially like, oh yeah, this is, my platinum medallion status on Delta, or, like there's that. And then there's the people that really don't care about that portion, but it's for the perks.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like, I don't necessarily go around and be like, oh, I'm, Diamond Plus on Royal Caribbean, I'm Platinum Elite on Delta, I'm Platinum Elite on Marriott, and all Diamond with Hilton. I want to know what you're getting me.
Right.
For that status, for my loyalty. Like, it's all about the perks. And I mean, for a while, I used to kind of, I think, laugh at the Royal Caribbean status for a while because I don't need a bunch of coupons. Like, when they finally made that switch and offered like the diamond drinks, I'm like, that's a value.
It is a value add.
That's a value. Like, that is something, like, one of the things I love for celebrity. I love my bag of laundry. I love that I come home and not have to wash as much laundry and it's done. I know that seems like such a trivial thing. And I loved how, like, you and I were in Hawaii and we just walked to the lounge and we got priority tender. They brought us right down because we had that early.
I forgot about that. No, I don't think anybody knew about it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Not a lot of people use it. And those kind of things, like,
Right.
the upgrades on Delta, my certs and stuff, the fact that I can give them to my family is what, like, that's what it is. Like, I could, give a crap about toting the name.
Right. No, I agree completely. So this next one gets a little nerdy. So if you guys have been reading the news or paying attention, this Chat GPT
Is that
AI is just it is going to. I mean, this is not an AI show. This is not a technology show. But guys, pay attention to this. This is going to change the world. I think it was one of the Google executives that has said this new AI is going to be the most important human invention since I think he said the printing press. Okay, like it is going to completely change the world.
I use it.
Right, it's going to change the world. It's going to bring upon Battlestar Galactica, and the human race will be wiped out from AI. But until then, we have nice tools with things like Expedia. So, what is ChatGPT? It is imagine if you're not techie, AI is think about like a Google search, but on steroids. Okay, imagine the world's best Googler is on the other end of your Google search. Okay. And so they're interpreting what you're searching for. They're learning what you're searching for. It's adapting and it's learning your preferences. So Expedia is partnering with ChatGPT to help you plan a trip. And some of these stories about like what ChatGPT has done, the New York Times has done a lot about it. And it's a little frightening, especially since the AI is now able to write its own code for itself. For for GPT-5 coming out. So like it's scary, right? Like ChatGPT-4 can like pass the bar at like 70 percentile. ChatGPT-5 is going to be able to pass it with like the 90th percentile. I mean, it is crazy what's coming here, right? It's going to completely change our world. But
I agree. I mean, I'm actually.
So I'm going on a rant about tech.
No,
stuff.
no, you are. But I mean, it's such a big thing because it's increasing productivity and efficiency. And I mean, just myself, like, I'm launching like a free e-course for hoteliers on how to, maximize your prospecting efforts with AI and bots.
I mean, it is going to change the world. And so if you're not into it, you should read it. There's lots of discussions. There's lots of politicians wanting to limit it. Like there was this massive open letter from the tech giants who were like, hey, this could destroy our world or it can help us make great trips. It'll be somewhere in between. Somewhere in between. So while humans are still running the world, we had some news that kind of broke late last week with Celebrity. So the Celebrity Cruises president and CEO, Lisa Lufthansa, is stepping down as president and CEO of Celebrity Cruises and is taking a position with the Royal Caribbean Group. So that's the parent company, to do like a vice chair of external affairs. And Laura Hodges from the group level is going to succeed her as president and CEO. So when I first heard this, I was very saddened. I understand Lisa is slowly stepping into retirement. I totally get that. But as it has been incredible to see her come on, because she used to be on the she was on the hotel side of Royal Caribbean, and she was there with the whole quantum class launch. And then she got promoted to be CEO of Celebrity. And when she became CEO of Celebrity, in my opinion, did not really know what they wanted to be. Right? They were like, we're are we trying to be like old people? Are we trying to be the same as our sister company, Royal Caribbean? They just really couldn't decide. And so she came in, helped introduce the Edge series ships, which completely changed Celebrity. And I mean, she will absolutely be missed. But she totally changed Celebrity. She's big on women being represented in the travel industry, especially in the cruising world and leadership. Women are not represented though.
That's what's funny in hospitality is you will see women managers and stuff like that. Like I call it at property level. But once you get to like high up, like management companies and whatnot, it's not as common.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So she's real big. She helped. So Celebrity had two female captains. One was on one of the smaller Galapagos ships, Expedition or Exploration, forgot which one. Then of course Captain Kate, brought out. She was with Apex, brought out Beyond. So, I mean, she has just been a great. There's rarely is there a CEO that's just so much of like a cheerleader out there. Everyone knows her, and everyone that's met her, she's just amazing, and she will definitely be missed. So, Laura, she's got some big shoes to fill. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things continue to go
I'm just happy that Laura brings us C-Day brunches. That's like the main thing. That's like the only thing they're missing for me.
I told you my first time doing a true cruise on Edge pre-pandemic, spring 19. It was before you and I did Hawaii, right? We did Hawaii 19, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're 19, last C-Day, giant brunch on the C-Day. You had to pay for it, which was like $30-$40. Fine. It had, a lobster station. It had like a seafood.
That's what I said to Jeff. I'm like, even if it was like a specialty upcharge, just give me an option. Because man, like even if you're out late, just kind of socializing and listening to music when
I agree.
Breakfast, a sit down breakfast venue done by like 9. That's
I agree. It is one thing I think Virgin does very well. Brunch at the wake, it goes to like two. It goes for a long time, and it's magnificent. So, all right. So we have some travel insurance topics.
I'm interested to see your spread on this.
Do you want me to give my take first or you?
You first.
Okay. So people ask me all the time, should I buy, cancel for any reason travel insurance? And I think for nearly 100% of the people, the answer is no. You should not. Because the cancel for any reason is almost always considerably more expensive. Okay. And it has the same covered reasons as the regular insurance, right? Death in the family, jury duty, you're sick, right? All of those covered reasons are on both types of policies. Both of them pay out at 100%, okay, of what you put on the insurance policy.
So
hold on. But if you buy the cancel for any reason, and you cancel for a non-covered reason, which I call it the bad hair day, right? You wake up, you have a bad hair day, which I never have a bad hair day. You wake up and you just don't want to go, okay? You just don't want to go. You will not get 100% of your trip back. If you cancel for any reason, which is that's not a covered reason, putting the policy, you're typically going to be around 75% back. So very few people are ever going to cancel for a reason not already on the covered list.
And that's kind of what I was going to allude to, anyways. Like, most people, can't say all, nobody's waking up like the morning of a trip they've already paid for and planned and just been like,
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
no. There's always a reason. And so many of these cancellation policies have a force majeure, act of God. Things are pretty easy going. Like, I mean, you call a hotel and like, oh my gosh, like my husband's in the hospital, we're not coming. I know your cancellation policy is 48 hours. Like, I
Right.
can send you, they might ask you like, oh, can you just like send me a picture of some documents like to verify it? But nobody's gonna be like, no, you have to pay for that. And I mean,
No,
it's
I
all,
agree.
all those little fine print things on each website and those terms and conditions when you make a reservation.
Right. And so I don't. And what's great about so as a travel advisor with cruise planners, we have an exclusive contract with Allianz, which is who I always use for, to buy my travel insurance. Our contract with them says as long as you purchase the insurance policy by the provider's final payment date, okay, not the deposit date, the final payment date, any pre-existing conditions are covered. Okay. So a lot of people and a lot of travel insurance policies, you have to buy it when you make a deposit, and usually cancel for any reason. You have to make it when you make the deposit. But with Allianz, if you're booking with a cruise planner agent, you can book a trip now, have final payment in a year and a half. You have a pre-existing condition now, but as long as you buy it by the invoice final payment date, your pre-existing condition is covered. So that is yet another reason where I just really do not like the cancel for any reason. You don't even get 100% of it back.
Yeah, and that it makes zero sense to me. But that kind of leads us into our tip of the day. And I learned a little bit more about this recently because when we were getting ours for this cruise, it was a substantial cost difference because like the air was so expensive because it was last minute and whatnot. And I guess per se didn't realize that like it's more so just the dollar amount of coverage. It's not necessarily like if you only include your cruise cost, you're only covered on the cruise piece.
Right. So the way the travel insurance works is when you buy a policy, the insurance company doesn't really know what is behind that dollar amount. Okay. So when I get purchase policies for clients, it is literally just the names and the dollar amount. They spit out a number and that's it. Okay. They don't know if that's a hotel, flights, cruise, and excursions. They don't know. Right now, should you put everything on the insurance policy or not? And everybody has to navigate and mitigate their own risk. Okay. Like personally, I usually do not put hotels on my travel insurance policy. Now, if I was going to Europe, staying at a hotel for 2 weeks, I would put that on the insurance policy. Okay. Like I would put that on the insurance policy. But if I'm going to Europe, staying at the W Barcelona for one night, I'm probably not putting that on the insurance policy unless it's crazy expensive. They only had non-refundable, then that might be different, right? If it's a refundable rate,
Yeah.
which what does Haley always tell us to do with hotels?
Book refundable.
Refundable, okay. Now, the question I get asked all the time are flights. If you have an award ticket, which means you paid with miles or points, you cannot put that on your travel insurance because there's no cash value attached to the miles or point award ticket. Okay. So you cannot put it on there. Because usually the airlines are pretty good about you could cancel at any point and just get the miles or the points back. So no concern there. Now, personally, do I put my flights on travel insurance? If it is a long haul international, so usually kind of expensive, I do. Domestic, less expensive, I often do not, but that did bite me in the butt last year.
Yeah.
It did bite me in the butt. So, do you put your flights on insurance policy?
I normally do. This time we didn't because, not gonna lie, they were on the expensive side, and I'd already paid X amount for this cruise. So, like, comparing that cost versus the coverage, like the coverage just on what we paid on the cruise would have helped me out in any
Right.
scenario, anyways.
Right. So, you don't have to put everything on there. But like people ask, like, should I put excursions on there and drink packages on there? I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But you're kind of expensive. And look, and also if you don't fly with that airline a lot, like let's just say I had to, for whatever reason, fly, a non-Delta airline or like a non-SkyTeam airline. I'd be much more likely to put that on my travel insurance because I don't want to credit for, United, for example, because I'm probably less likely to have to use that, right? But with Delta, I could cancel, get credits, and it's as good as gold. I mean, like I look for my a family member got me a Delta gift card for my birthday. I got over the weekend. I was ecstatic. All right, it's like it's good as gold, right?
That's
It's as good
all
as
my parents get me now for
it's,
holidays,
it's,
either
as,
Starbucks or Delta.
it's as good as gold. So awesome. Well, that is it. If you guys have any question about insurance, you can definitely reach out to me. And I do talk about travel insurance a lot. It is, it is just absolutely required these days. And everybody's buying it. Like no one doesn't get travel insurance. So, well, Haley, great show. And we will see you guys here next week.
Well, and also before we head off here.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Brian. I just typed it in. You're good.
I forgot.
Brian won the $100. Did he do OBC or did he do a travel gift card?
He wanted some onboard credit
for his next sailing. He won our March Madness bracket challenge. So I think that was a lot of fun. I think we need to find more games.
I do. That was fun. That was fun.
So like Jason said, Brian, congratulations. Make sure you guys join our travel group up here. Would love to have you. Goals to hit 1,000 members this year. So
love it.
Help. So thank you guys so much, Jason. Thank you for everything you shared.
Absolutely. Well, guys, take care.